Hi, this is Dale. We're here to do sample problem 3.4, and you can see over in column A that I have the number of days, and those days are related to the number of days until bills were paid that was recorded. So we have this company that's trying to determine whether changing the color of their invoices would improve the speed of payment. So a company selected 200 customers at random and sent their invoices on blue paper. And so our goal is to calculate the mean and the median for these data. So I'm going to show you some different ways to do that. First thing I want to point out though here is over on somewhat the right side of the screen here, the mean is simply the sum of the observations divided by the number of observations. So the first thing we're going to do, calculate this by hand, is I'm going to go sum is equal to, and I'm going to add up all these numbers in column A, and then the number of observations, I'm using a lowercase n because we're dealing with a sample here, the 200 randomly sampled customers. If I were dealing with the entire population, it would be an uppercase n. So we'll do these two calculations and then we'll divide what we find for the sum divided by the number of observations to give us the mean, and then we'll use some different a function within Excel to do this same calculation. And the idea is that you understand the math behind it, and then you also see the power of Excel to calculate it. So you'll need to do all the different parts when you're doing your homework. So we'll start here, up here in the editing group, in the upper left part of the editing group. Again, the group is right here. I'm going to hit the auto sum button. It pre-selects a range based on what cell I was in. In this case, it doesn't anticipate correctly. So I'm going to click right here. In cell A2, I'm going to hold down my shift key and go end and down arrow. I could have clicked and drag as well, and you can see that it fills in the range A2 to A201. I'm going to hit enter by clicking on this check mark, and it sums that to be 2,237. Now the number I can just tell from this, A2 to A201 is 200. So we could just type in 200 if we wanted. That would be correct. I also could use a count function, equals count, and counts the number of cells in a range that contains numbers. So open parenthesis, and I could go A2 colon A201, close parenthesis, hit the check, and it gives me the 200. Now in order to calculate the mean, then equal to, I'm going to go over to the cell, and it's simply equal, because that's how you start any calculation. I'm going to go sum, which is in cell D2, I just clicked on it, divided by the number of observations, and again that's 11.185. And again, mean, when we're talking about mean, we're talking about the arithmetic mean. Sometimes it's referred to as average. In the case of Excel, it has an average function. So I'm just going to go equal to, and then start typing average, and it says here returns the average or arithmetic mean of its arguments. In this case, I'm going to open parenthesis and then drag from A2 and just drag all the way down to A201. Come back up here, close parenthesis, click the check mark to enter, and you can see that I got the same number. Actually, I should probably just Control X to cut and then paste over here. In this case, I'll just label it average is equal to. So you see, regardless of the way we used it, we got the same number, which is what you would expect. I'll also show you how to do descriptive statistics using the data analysis pack, and that'll give us a whole host of numbers, including mean, median, mode, standard deviation, all kinds of things. We also, though, want to calculate the median, which is the number located in the middle. And again, usually when we want some kind of measure of central tendency, the mean works well. But the mean is subject to outliers. So if you've got an extremely low number or extremely high, you can throw it off, where the median tends not to be, it doesn't get thrown off by that. But the easiest way to do that is I'm going to click in cell A2, hold down my shift key, and then hit the N key with the down arrow to select that whole range. And now what I want to do is go up here to the editing group and select sort and filter, and I want to sort them smallest to largest. And so I can see the middle number, which is going to be right there around 100, 101 to 102. I'm going to go right above the vertical scroll bar here and see how my cursor changes. I'm going to click and drag down here to do a split screen. So now when I click on the bottom half, I can just scroll down. And so since we're starting in cell 2, 100 goes down to cell 101, and the second 100 starts at 102. Since they're both the same number, in this case the median is going to be 11. But say one of these was 10 and one of them was 12, we'd add 10 and 12 together and divide it by 2, and that would give us the median. In this case, we're just going to type in 11. So again, it's the if there were an odd number of cells, it would be whatever that number is right in the middle. If it's an even number, you have to add the two middle numbers together and divide by 2 to get the median. Why don't I do this? I'll double click to remove our split screen here. And I want to show you one other way to get the median, which if I go right up here, well, no, I won't do it that way. I'll click right here on functions, and we'll go to statistical, and then we'll scroll down and select median right here. I'm going to go OK, and now it's giving me a range here, and I'm just going to go over here and click A2 and click all the way down. Just keep clicking and holding till I get to 201, and right here it's going to tell me based on that calculation that the median's 11, which is what I would expect. Click OK. Again, I put it in the wrong spot. I'm going to cut and paste it over, and we'll just put median, and we'll underneath using function. Another way, though, we can get all kinds of statistical analysis built in is using the data analysis pack. That, again, if you haven't installed that, I've got a video explaining how to do that. But I'm going to click on the data tab and then go here to data analysis, and what we want selected is descriptive statistics. Click OK, and now with the range, I'm just going to delete the range here. I'm going to type in A1 colon A201, group by column. I'm going to include labels in the first row because cell A1 has a label, and then I need to select my output range. So I'm going to delete that and then just click right here in cell C16. Make sure that summary statistics is selected. I also could put it in a new workbook, so there's all kinds of options you can experiment with here. And I'm going to click OK. And now if I just expand column C a little bit, we can see that I've got the mean of 11.185, which is consistent with the other ways I calculated. The median 11, also consistent. It also gives standard deviation, the sample variance, the minimum, the maximum, the sum, which again, you should recognize that. We calculated that sum up here, so it gives us that. And the count is the number of observations, which we also calculated. So again, a lot of power available within Excel to do calculations, but you also have to understand what it is you're calculating, which is why I walk you through and ask for you to show the different steps. That's it for sample video 3.4.